for who you are. We are gathered here, Jehovah Lord, as a team to discuss issues that pertains to our lives. And we want to welcome the presence of your Holy Spirit to be with us, that he may guide us, that he may teach us that which we do not know, that he may help us and give us the understanding that comes from above. That God, at the end of the day, we shall say that truly God, you've been with us and we have achieved what we have come to do, O God. I pray that, Father Lord, you will give us protection that comes from you, that you will hold us with your loving hand, and that, Jehovah Father, at the end of the day, we shall glorify your holy name. Be with us as we start, be with us through the day, and be with us even as the time we end, and we shall give you honor. In Jesus' name I do pray and give thanks. Amen.
Thank you very much, Adelaide, for that morning prayer. I want to say that today's meeting is hybrid. We have a small physical audience, and then we have another online audience that are actually joining us online, and we are also live on NCPD Facebook and NCPD YouTube channels. So I want to just do a quick round of introduction, all of us. And I always love starting from the back. Kindly one mic to the lady. Salome, start us off.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Salome Mutie, working with National Council for Population and Development. Karibuni sana.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Anna Yegon from the State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Godano Yusuf, chair of the ICPD Youth Coalition. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Yeah, the morning is still young, but we look a bit gloomy. I hope we'll find energy in the course of the day. So my name is Steve Biko. I work at IPAS. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jacqueline Cheriot. I work for NIVI, Ask NIVI Chatbot, one of the interventions under the PMAC project, so IPAS. Happy to be here.
Hi, good morning. I'm Caroline Okala and I work for IPAS, and I'm glad to be here.
Morning all. Anne Mahihu, Population Services Kenya, standing in for Dr. Margaret.
Good morning. Good morning once again. My name is Becca. I work with Reproductive Health Network Kenya, and it's really a pleasure to be here today. Looking forward to seeing the chatbots and the innovations that have actually come in place. Asanteni sana.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Patrick Mungai. I work for Population Service Kenya. Happy to be here.
Good morning, all. I'm Ezekiel Gure. I work with UNFPA.
Good morning. I'm Erastus Ombo. I work with NCPD.
Yeah, good morning once again. I'm Adelaide Maina, working with NCPD.
Good morning. I'm Margaret Mudhoni. I work with NCPD.
Good morning, everyone. Nanipata? Hamjambo? Jina langu ni Engineer Geoffrey Muturi ama Kawangware's finest. a big friend of NCBD. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mutwiri Kiogora from 24 Interactive. We've been contracted by NCPD to provide the live streaming.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anthony. I work with NCPD.
Amjambo. I'm Margaret Moila from the National Council for Population and Development. I take this opportunity to welcome you all to this interactive day. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
My
morning.
name is Yulan Zale. I am a sign language interpreter for this session, and my colleague's name is Eddie Ingutia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Kavuta Kot. I'll be your photographer, so if you see me around, just smile.
Okay, thank you. And our washikadau wa side ya camera.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
I'm Steven.
And him?
Good morning. I'm Javan, videographer.
All right. Yes. Soft voice. We see action, and I'm Fidelis Dungu, and I work for the National Council for Population and Development, and we are glad to have you all on board. So today, like I have said, and you have also seen in the program, is that we are discussing matters digital, and that is why we have decided to also go digital. The only few copies you are finding on the table is for the program. The rest will be having a digital conversation, and we are discussing ICPD at 30, and the good thing is that UNFP is around to let us know all about these celebrations that we've been having on ICPD at 30. So just before we go to the opening session, I want to welcome Margaret to let us know why we are here, so that at least as she does that, we shall be digesting why we are here. So karibu, Margaret.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Mko salama? Yeah, okay. This morning we are gathered here because of ICPD 30 celebrations. And last night we had a very interesting interactive session on Express. And this morning we are continuing the conversations around ICPD 30. I don't know whether we all know, but we had 5 thematic areas that we were supposed to deal with, and this is one of the thematic areas that is called digital solutions, future-proofing the ICPD. And the main reason that we are here, we are just doing 2 things. One is to learn about ICPD and ICPD 30, and also get progress with regard to the commitments that Kenya made in 2019 during the summit, the ICPD summit that was held in Nairobi here in Kenya. The second aim, why we are gathered here today, is to showcase some of the digital solutions that are being used in Kenya to support development in our country. So thank you so much, and feel most welcomed. We are going to be here for the rest of the day. I know we have very, very, very interesting stuff, so please stay around. Thank you so much.
Thank you, MM. To stretch a little. Yes, we are dropping for those objectives. 1, 2, go. So thank you, Margaret, for letting us know why we are here this morning. And I know we shall be informing you as we go on about those 5 thematic areas. They came in Kenya as Think Peace. Mr. Steve Biko to come and tell us something on behalf of the CSOs. Karibu sana, Steve.
All right. Good morning, everyone. You are well? All right. Thank you very much. On behalf of IPAS, I would like to say it's a great opportunity to collaborate with you all in advancing population and development for all. As IPAS, we are very much honored to be part of this process, and we hope we can be able to showcase some of the innovations we have in terms of advancing reproductive health for women and girls, and also for men, given they are very critical part of the population in general. Today, as we mark the 30 years of ICPD, I want to encourage us to honor the spirit of innovation so that we continue to drive effort to achieve health equity for each and every citizen within our great country. I also encourage us to embrace ongoing journey in terms of digital advancement to be able to help us create health equity for women, especially those who are in very hard to reach area. Also emphasize the need to reach adolescent girls, which are also our critical population in terms of access to health. And our innovations or our presentations will be able to highlight this. I encourage us to critique them, be able to give strategies and pointers that can help us improve our programs at the community level. Otherwise, thank you very much. I wish us a very engaging session and hope to engage and interact with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Steve. We stretch. So thank you very much for that, and also for the support that you've given the council on this very issue of ICPD 30. I want to welcome Ezekiel from UNFPA to come and give us some opening remarks. Karibu Ezekiel.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I think when it was asked who are not taken tea, I'm the only one who raised his hand. That means you have already taken tea. Once again, I'm Ezekiel Gure. I work with UNFPA Kenya Country Office in the area of population and development, and all protocols observed. Let me say that today and this morning, we are grateful and honored for this meeting that has been organized through NCPD's coordination and support of partners. And this is one of the area of ICPD that we can be able to say the collaboration and leveraging of resources and also expertise in advancing the ICPD program of action within the country. And therefore, we are pleased to be here. Secondly, is that we'll talk more on ICPD during the presentation, but for now, let me speak a little bit on this agenda of digital proofing. Within the country, I would say it touches each and every area of ICPD. When you look at the ICPD agenda, it touches each and every sphere of human life, be it from when you are, before you are born, even at old age. And therefore, when we talk about technology, then again, it touches the whole sphere of life of each and every one of us. And when we look at the current world today, we find that the ICT and technology has actually accelerated globalization. We usually now say the world is like a market. You can be able to go and get anything. When you have your phone, have your computer, you can access internet, you have the world on your hand. And therefore, the access of information or dissemination of information is at our reach, at everyone. And therefore, when we look at this agenda, we look at the dichotomy of the digital world. On one side, we look at how does the technology or the cloud accelerate the implementation of ICPD program of action in the area of SRH, in the area of fighting GBV, FGM, and in the area of making data available and accessible to planners and policymakers from national level to the lowest level of planning. And therefore, there's the positive aspects of the digital world. And this is what we need to harness on, so that we can be able to see how can we be able to access SRH services through the digital aspect of what we have. There are new technologies that have been able to come up, and I know over through the day we'll be able to see some of them, that today people are accessing medical care through internet, through your call. Today, people are accessing information on what is happening with their health through the digital gadget that we put on our arms. And again, we can be able to access information on what is happening worldwide through our televisions, through our internet, and all that. The AI today has made it easier for people to do research on the areas of the gender, SRH, and also other development agendas. And therefore, there's a lot that you can be able to leverage. And that is one side of the dichotomy of this digital world. The other side of the coin is the way the digital world facilitates the erosion of the gains that we have been able to achieve over the 30 years within the ICPD agenda. Last year, towards the end of last year, UNFPA together with the University of Nairobi and CGD, we conducted a study within a few selected higher learning institutions to be able to see how much is the technology facilitated GBV within these institutions. And to our amazement, that 9.3% of all people who are within, or students who are within these facilities, have experienced technology facilitated GBV. And within that, you'll find that there is also inequalities. That 5.6% of the students, or male students, have accessed, have been able to go through this GBV, while about 65.4 female, they have already gone through that. And you'll be able to see, as we fight for FGM against GBV and other harmful practices, technology is also facilitating that vice. On the other hand, you'll find that there are many other things that our children, as young as they are getting from internet, and without good guidance, then they can be able, as they grow, they'll be able to have other negative issues or advices from the internet that will erode what we have been able to do. Again, when we look at the data that we have, the access of technology within our nation, again, it is not at that par. We talk about not leaving anyone behind when we're implementing ICPD. But does the technology that we have accelerate or facilitate that, the leaving no one behind? You'll find that from the census we conducted in 2019, the population who are 3 years and above who own a telephone, a mobile phone, is about 47.3%. Okay. There's no inequalities, much of inequalities, but you'll find that in rural areas, this percentage is lower, is 40%. And in urban is 62.6%. What does it tell you? That when we use technology to advance the ICPD agenda, there is about 53% of population that will be left behind if you use technology at national level. So what should we do? And I think this is the conversation that we are here to understand. How do we ensure that we don't leave those people behind? When you look at those who are using the mobile phone is about 55%. Yes, you have, but you can use somebody's phone to use. Therefore, about 55%. What about the 45% who are not using any technology? How can we be able to reach them? This is one of the vice of the digital world or the technology that we may facilitate leaving others behind. Again, within the household, about only 18% who have any type of internet. What does it mean? That if you use the internet, then we need to be looking at what about the other 82% of that. And I think this discussion then, it is need to look at how do we deal with technology so that we can facilitate attaining or achieving the ICT agenda and also lowering the vices or the other negative impact of the digital world. And therefore, as we gather today, let's look at how can we have a safe digital world so that we can be able to accelerate the ICPD agenda. I will be here and would like to hear from you and other people so that what we discuss today so that it can go nationwide to our planners, our policymakers, and our community leaders. Thank you very much.
Let's coordinate the clap by stretching and we drop. So thank you very much, Ezekiel, for those insights that you've given us concerning the stats. And I know also Margaret will be giving us more stats on the same. And one striking thing is a safe digital world, because we need to have that even as we talk about digital world today. I want to invite one of us who is the custodian of 75% of our population. And those are the people that most of the time they are where? They're in the digital world. Whether they are creating content, whether they are watching other things, are they safe? So I want to welcome one of us. She's working with one of the state departments for young people. And it is also having the creative economy. Dr. Riegon, karibu. Come and tell us about the 75% of the population. Just say hello to us and tell us whether they are still safe in this digital world. Karibu, Daktari.
Okay, good morning. Good morning once more. Okay, my name is Dr. Anna Yegon from the State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy. In the State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy, there are many programs for young people, and we've been implementing various activities to support young people, especially from vulnerable populations. I know Fidelis has talked of the creative economy. Really, that is the focus of the State Department and also the ministry. But I'll not talk on behalf of the ministry. What I can only say is that the government has been keen. If you look at the beta, the government is very keen to tap on the talents of young people. How do we tap on the talents of young people and ensure they benefit from the same talent? If you have been very keen, if you look at the State Department for Sports, for instance, when young people, those who go for competitions like athletics, when they do well, they are what? They are rewarded for the energy and for the success that they bring and glory to the country. And you saw our Excellency has really been showing that this is the way to go, monetizing talent. And they are rewarded for the success and the glory that they have brought to the nation. That is on that level. But a framework is being developed to be able to guide on the implementation of the same, so that you don't reward others and you leave others behind. That is why you talk of Talanda Ella. Talanda Ella simply means let us reward the talent. What young people brings on board and they have shown success, we reward them so that also whatever they get, they can also invest in other sectors, and it can improve their livelihoods in future. And that is the real focus, the real focus. So also the issue of, if you, actually the president has been talking about the issue of innovation hubs. So we are developing innovation hub framework so that it can guide. And we have Kenya National Innovation Agency, the agency that really promote innovations in the country, targeting both youth and other aspects of other people from the population. Remember, when we focus on youth, we also need to also look at other people from the population, where they can use they can develop innovations, they can be able to showcase their innovation, and they can also translate and earn from the same. So we used to have a project called Kenya Youth Employment Opportunities Project, but currently we have what is called Nyota. It has been rolled out. It also targets the vulnerable population. Remember, in Kenya, we have 75% of young people 18 to 35 years. And many of them, some have completed universities. There are those who didn't go beyond class 8. And in most cases, we really focus on that because we want to bring them to partake on the development of the nation. And so programs like Nyota will really assist us to reach those vulnerable population. And we tap on the various courses that are offered by various institutions. Like if you look at, if somebody has gone up to class 4, class 5, class 6, how do we ensure that they also gain the same education like our counterparts who have gone through Form 4, they have gone to university, or they have gone to tertiary? So they are taken through courses under like master craftsmen, and they are assessed by NITA. And if you look at the policy of Ministry of Education, the recognition of prior learning policy, through recognition of prior learning policy, you are assessed by NITA, and there is pathway where you will meet with the rest. You go through artisan, there is, from the artisan, there is, can somebody remind me? There is artisan, then you move, there is one I am forgetting, then you go to certificate. From certificate, you go to diploma. What I'm trying to say is, there is pathway for each and every one of us. You start with your learning has been recognized through NITA assessment. You will go for artisan. You will go for the next step. You will go for certificate, and you move on. And at the end of the day, if you look at young people who have gone through those NITA assessments, they are really eager in starting projects or starting businesses, and they are very successful. They will always ensure they do the best they do the best in business to be able to earn and improve their livelihoods. And very interestingly, because for me, I've managed to visit some of the master craftsmen who also say they started the same way. They have been able to employ other people within their businesses. You find someone has 10 people, 7 people, 15 people, yet their education was, they didn't go through the academic pathway. They started from NITA assessment, recognition of prior learning, and they do a lot of examination. When they establish their businesses, they employ others. And when you go to their premises, they are very serious with their work. So that is where the focus of the State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy is. They are really trying to support the vulnerable youth to be able to catch up also with the youth that goes through Ministry of Education, that line of education, and then they meet up there. But there is something that is happening. We really appreciate, and we shall continue promoting skills development among young people. We shall continue promoting monetizing of youth talents, where they showcase their talents and they are supported to really grow that talent. And I've told you, in the both State Department, the youth and sports, the ministry is really focusing on that framework being put in place. And there is a bill in Parliament. I am not allowed to speak on that because that is the work of the PS and the CS, which was on a creative support bill, which is supposed to really anchor the issue of monetizing talent into law, so that when you do, you have a framework that will be able to guide the same. So in celebrating ICBD, Fidelis will really know that I was with you. We walked through the journey when there was conference in Nairobi in 2019, and we've been working together to see and seeing how what have we achieved in ICBD since then. And I think there's a lot to report on the same, because on the aspect of population, the focus of NCBD, looking at the population, you look at youth, it is part of the population. There are also other sectors, elderly, and they are part of the population. And when all that is reported, it really tells us where are we achieved the ICBD program of action from 1994 up to now, and Kenya from 2019 to now. And I think there is a lot that can be showcased on what Kenya has achieved on the same. And we can really celebrate the milestone. And I say that I will not miss this session. Let us work the journey to celebrate, because they are successes. But where also there are challenges, challenges provide opportunities. What are these challenges? How can we address them and move on? So I beg to stop there. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. But let us still accelerate. The way Ngure said, let us accelerate the implementation of ICBD commitments, so that we can achieve much beyond ICBD. At that we can still achieve, even as we move towards Kenya Vision 2030, celebrating at 30 years, isn't it? So we can still accelerate whatever has been achieved further. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yagon. Namwangushia. One to go. Thank you very much. And I will also welcome our online team. We have our online team on board, and we want to go to the apex of the opening session. And we bring our Director General on board to give us the blessings for the day. He's joining us online.
Join you today as well. low uptake due to fear of charting unknown topographies, low knowledge and lack of standard operating procedures and quality controls governing AI operations. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth industrial revolution is characterized by cutting-edge technologies that include robotics, printing, four-dimensional printing, big data, and artificial intelligence are conglomerations of ideas, innovations, and technologies interactions. However, the UN wants that safeguards must be put in places as sure interests of humanity and their rights. Furthermore, a government must invest to close gaps and inequalities in accessing digital solutions, especially for girls, women, people with disability, indigenous people, and migrants. The African rapid population growth translates to a growing human capital base that is set to service the global labor markets in the near future. For this reason, it is incumbent upon African government to prioritize science, technology, and innovations, health, and education of its growing youthful population to ensure competitiveness in global arena. It is therefore critical that the existing global technology, gender, and continental drives are nipped in the bud for an equal, inclusive, and just society. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya has made tremendous progress in terms of prioritizing technology advancement. Foremost, the government has transformative agenda, has prioritized the digital superhighway pillar, which is meant to increase access to the last mile. That is, the marginalized population, including indigenous people of Kenya. Again, the government has also continuously supported onboarding of various services on the e-platform, agriculture and the climate science, education, health, energy, the physical transport sector, but to mention a few key ones, are on the first line in leveraging on science, technology, and innovations. Digital technologies promise a positive and transformative potential to advance overarching goals of sustainable development, gender equality, and universal access to reproductive health services and rights. Ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate the 30th year of ICPD program of action implementation, we need to reflect on the technologies advanced in places and how we can improve and increase their use to accelerate progress toward the achievement of sustainable development as we look to improve people's lives. Today we are privileged to showcase a few technological platforms that are successfully running in Kenya. I encourage you to visit the NCPD and ICPD website to access a lot more information on ICPD and population and development. I urge you to be part of this fast-moving STI training. And last, not the least, I'm happy that we are happy. I'm happy that we are applying technology here, and now I'm online making my remarks as the DG NCPD from here in Mombasa. When you are there, and others are joining us online through our YouTube, through our Twitter, and other social methods, and that we're using technology to advance and educate Kenyans on population matters. As you may have noticed, this event is hybrid and also a live stream to ensure we reach many people, not just in Kenya, but worldwide. So I want to really wish you all the best. I want you to really, this week, join us to celebrate this 30th anniversary. This is something that was started in 1994, and that in 1994 the world was at another level in terms of population and development. And I'm happy that as a country we have been part of this journey. Kenya was among the 179 nations that was in Cairo in 1994. And again, Kenya agreed to host with UNFP and Denmark to host the ICPD 25 plus here in Nairobi. And as a country, I can tell you, we have made tremendous progress on population matters. I want you to join us this month, this week, and today in celebrating this occasion. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
Thank you very much, our Director General. We are going to give him one hearty clap, a very hearty one, for opening the meeting officially. We have his blessings. Stretch. Moja no. Thank you very much, Daktari. And we are aware you are having another meeting in Mombasa. But just in the interludes of that other meeting, you can still join us and see how we are going on here in Hurlingham. Thank you very much. I want to, just before we go for tea, and karibuni sana, we can see we still have an online team with us. And we want to take a short, just before we go for a short break. I hope our online team will still be okay. When we say we are breaking for tea, you'll also catch a cup of tea wherever you are. I want to invite Ezekiel to let us know about the ICPD at 30, so that when you'll be going for tea, at least we'll have started the journey. And I can see new faces. Those new faces, we shall deal with them after our break. So, karibu, Bwana Gure.
Good morning. I hope it's going to be projected, the presentation. So I'm going to give you a brief of the ICPD at 30. As you may be aware, and I know you are aware because you are all working within the ICPD ecosystem. And also the DG has highlighted the issues of ICPD conference that was held in Cairo in 1994. And therefore, what I'm going to present today is just a brief, not this one, yeah. I'm going to present to you the ICPD at 30, the brief what we are doing and what we are expecting, not only in Kenya but also globally, so that by the end of the year we will be able to have summarized what we have been able to do and what we are going to do in the next years before the 2030. My presentation will have 4 areas. Next. 4 areas. One, I will discuss the background of ICPD program of action, and then the ICPD, I discuss about the anniversary at 30, and then I'll also discuss the national consultation processes, and later on I will discuss what are the expectations from these consultations. Next. So as we know, all of us, is that in the year 1994, about 179 governments met in Cairo in what we call the landmark conference, the International Conference on Population and Development. If you read the history of this conference, you'll find that it culminated of many other conferences that were dealing with environment, others with children. But now this conference, which was on the population and development, brought the views from all the other conferences on development, human rights, sexual and reproductive health, and gender equality, and merged them to what we call a remarkable global consensus that praised individual dignities and the human rights, including to plan one's family at the heart of development. Because previously we used to talk about various disjointed aspects of development. But this conference, and this is the core of it, it brought all these issues to the heart of development. When you are doing development, it's about people and for the people. And in the consequence, the meetings, the UGAS meeting that came later, gave UNFPA the mandate to monitor and report the program of action. What to talk about the program of action of ICPD is what was agreed, the actions that were agreed to be implemented by 2014. But later on, by 2014, it was realized that we have not been able to do implement. Then five more years were added and culminated to the ICPD Nairobi Summit at Nairobi, which was held here in 2019, which accelerated. The argument was, let us accelerate the implementation of the promise that was made in 1994 in the program of action. Therefore, up to today, we are also implementing the program of action, but with accelerated agenda, what we call the commitments. Next. So, what's the current situation of the program of ICPD agenda? One, as we have already seen from the people or the people who have made their remarks, is that the ICPD ecosystem now is multifaceted in a multifaceted crisis that are threatening to reverse the hard-won gains made by countries against the Sustainable Development Goals. You'll find that there are many things that are coming at us to accelerate, but most of them, they are actually threatening to reverse the hard-gained achievements. The other one, sorry, you have gone? Go back. Go to slide number 4, please. The next slide. Yeah, this is the technology. Okay, I can continue as he finds his way back. So the other one is the issue of backsliding on the rights and choices of women and girls, putting sexual reproductive health on the political agenda as both supporters and distractors. This is a debate that has been there, from the religious to CSOs to private sector to government and all that. There are many big debates on, and especially about the commodities, FP commodities and the rest. The other one is voices are emerging in support of the rights of women, adolescents and youth. And therefore, this is another positive aspect of the current situation of the agenda. The next one is this progress activism for social justice, climate action and equality. And I think this is the main thing that we have. And the last one, what we can be able to look at is the multilateral environment in which the UNFPA, during the monitoring and reporting, approaches the issues of the ICPD and that. So, the ICPD 30 anniversary, we are talking about ICPD 30. What we mean is ICPD at 30 anniversary, 30 years after the Cairo conference, is that we have implemented the program of action. Please go to the next. So that you know, yeah, there. So we are celebrating 30 years of implementation of the program of action. And at this year, then the UNFPA, who has been given the mandate to monitor and report, has been facilitating the review process. And the review process has about 3 issues what we want to do, or what we have been doing since January. One is celebrating the achievement that we have been able to make for the 30 years. Second is taking stock of challenges that we have experienced during the implementation, and then reflect on the future of the ICPD agenda. Remember the Nairobi Summit that was held here in 2019, we gave commitment most for the period up to 2030. And therefore, we are supposed to look at how are we going to implement this program of action for the remaining years. up to 2030. Next. So, what are the approaches that has been taken since the beginning of these anniversary celebrations? So UNFPA, together with the partners, has leveraged the power of its convening with other partners globally and also at the national level to ensure the continued relevance of the ICPD agenda within all the commitment, the development spheres of other sectors. Again, we are also trying to see how can we be able to link to other multilateral processes. We know we have the SDG summit that was held in 2023. That is where we started all things. The global review of the SDG at the 2023 and 2024 high-level political forum summit that is held in each and every year in July. And again, we also linked this with the summit of the future that was held in September 2024. So therefore, our approach is geared to demonstrating the continuous relevance of ICPD agenda within the wider aspect of the development, and also to generate political support and call for full achievement or implementation of this agenda. Can go to the next. And therefore, as I had indicated, this celebration or the review has 3 objectives. One, to celebrate the 30 years of ICPD. So in this digital aspect of the ICPD, we need to celebrate what have we been able to achieve within that years. Second is to reduce the polarization across key areas. As I had indicated, the issue of SRH, the issues of GBV, the issue of FGM, and the rest, the issues of young people, to reduce this polarization and see how can we be able to unlock some of the hindrances that has been able to be there that has hindered us to achieve the target. The other one is to position the post-2030 population agenda within the development, the global and country development agenda. As we think for the future up to 2030, it's about 5 years or so. What about thereafter with these issues of AI, technology, and all that? So we need to start thinking about that. Next. And therefore, within the development, there was a process that was agreed globally and also at national level. So at national level, especially within the country, we started with the conducting the national assessment for the Addis Ababa Declaration of Population and Development after 10 years. This declaration was made in the, by African countries in Addis Ababa in 2013. And therefore, we have a report that brought this assessment. Within the ICPD, again, all the issues of ICPD are captured in this declaration. And therefore, we use this report at the annual ICPD report that we develop to be able to contribute to the African review of ICPD at 30. Therefore, our issues were integrated or incorporated in the African report, which again, that African report was incorporated in the global report, what we call the UN Secretary General, that was read and discussed at the Commission on Population and Development that was held in April and May this year. And it is during that time we also launched the celebration of the ICPD at 30. But all these things are driven by the national and some national consultations globally. And therefore, whatever we discuss here, we also get the recommendations, we put them to the other levels so that they can be able to be uptaken for future programming. Next. Therefore, how are we doing the national consultations? And this is one of the national consultations. One, we are conducting these through multiple actors, the people who made commitments, institutions that are coming on board to help accelerate the implementation of the ICPD agenda. And these are diverse. They are private sectors, CSOs, academia, the donors, and the development partners and the UN together. So each and every area we are looking at, how can we be able to leverage that? We're also looking at supporting the existing initiatives. Wherever we have initiatives or forums and all that, we try to bring the issue for ICPD in it. Again, we're also looking at ways on how we can be able to develop or generate new evidence, key messages to be able to bring people on board to accelerate the implementation on that. And most importantly is the development of the think pieces, what we call the policy brief of ICPD, in the 5 areas that were identified globally to be able to help us initiate the dialogue and policy support in the area of ICPD at that. And I know most of you has already participated in this, and one of the policy briefs in the area of demographic diversity, the other one is future of population data systems, digital world, which actually is in this area that we are meeting today, future of SRH, and ICPD and the climate crisis. I will not go through this. These are the policy briefs. What you find in purple is the global policy brief. And what Kenya did with support of the partners, UNFPA, NCPD, we domesticated, or we brought that global aspect to the national context. And we developed what we call the national ICPD briefs, or the Kenyan briefs, on the 5 areas that were being used in the negotiations and discussions at policy level. So we have one on demographic diversity, future SRH, and we will call upon you to read these 2 policies, all these, they are now 10, 5 global, 5 Kenyan, so that you can be able to understand the issues that we have. What are we expecting, as I conclude, from these consultations? At global level, we want to have the ICPD agenda being safeguarded within the borders of multilateral sustainable development frameworks, be it SDGs, be it gender treaties, be it technological treaties, or any agreement that we have. And you can be able to see what we have in the Compact of the Future that was agreed on 23rd September this year during the Summit of the Future. You will find issues of ICPD aligning from chapter 1 to the last. They are there. You find, like in the digital, we have one area and one focus which is talking about science, technology, and innovation. We will find the issues we are discussing here are within it. We also find, I think, is a next one, which is called global digital something. It's about the issue, how can we be able to use the digital world to harness and other areas of SRH, HBV. We have a full objective of data and innovation, and therefore the ICPD agenda, through these national and global discussions, found their way in the Compact of the Future. Again, the areas that were used to be able to incorporate this is the 57th session in April, the special event within SDG Summit, the High Political Forum, special event on ICPD, and also we had now the Summit of the Future, where a lot of negotiations were done to be able to ensure that the issues of ICPD are included or incorporated in the Compact of the Future. The other expected outcome is to expand the base for support of implementation of program of action. I'm very happy to know that most of the those that are here, or the partners who are here, perhaps you didn't find yourself to present during the ICPD Summit in Nairobi in 2019. And this is something that we need now to look at. How can we bring all other people to come and be able to help in the implementation of this? And we'll be working that with the coordination of SCPD and UNFPA to be able to see how can we bring other people together with that. And therefore, whatever we are doing today is contributing to these 2 expectations. And later on, we can be able to look at the end of the year, from all the national consultations, what's our action plan for the next 5 to 6 years to 2030. So thank you very much, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ezekiel, for bringing us on board on ICPD 30. Higher, as we stretch, as we also plan to go and catch a cup of tea, Q&A, we are going to provide 1, 2, go. For the sake of time, because it is 11:15, I would request that we just have a break, and then when we come, we shall know our online team and also continue on with the presentations. I have seen they are quite beautiful. We have 6 issues to showcase, and we are eager to learn today. Okay, Margaret.